Have a seat on your lift. Cross your legs in the center of your shins. Welcome those who just joined. First, observe, before making any changes, observe how you're sitting. Observe what is most likely for many of us an unevenness of the sit bones, unless that memory has already been built there. And if it has, wonderful, notice that. Notice where there's gripping in the neck, shoulders, the thighs, anywhere else. Notice where there's tension. Notice where there's release. Now it's helpful to peel the flesh away from the buttocks. So go in and take your hand under your buttocks. It's just you, it's your buttocks. And peel that flesh away so that you can begin to feel the sit bones themselves. And with that feeling now that you have a better understanding of where the sit bones are as connected to the surface, adjust so that they're even. The balance is even. And that's not always instantaneous. Sometimes you need to play a little bit, and not just at the sit bones and hips, but where else? What else needs to adjust to at least get closer? Maybe your precise evenness isn't there today. It's okay. Keep a compassionate, open space for yourself and what is here today. And maintaining that even balance, find a releasing in the inner thighs. So there's a lengthening from the inner thigh, upper inner thigh to the inner knee. And there's also a lengthening from the upper inner thighs back towards the abdomen. So the whole groin, that area between the inner knee and the lower abdomen, is lengthening. Don't do it harshly. Don't seek as much out of it as you can get in one go. There's a lengthening more and more as time goes on. So that means you have to start off gently, kindly, compassionately. And don't think of it as maximum stretching. Think of it as opening. That you're slowly opening the doors. Descend the flesh of the inner thighs. The inner thighs, the flesh descends down from the front of the leg towards the back of the leg, which in this case is towards the floor. And maintaining that, releasing that opening, draw from the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. Don't compact the hips, don't work the outer legs and compact the hips so much that you then grip the inner thighs, closing the door that we just opened. Yes, you need a firmness. You need a strengthening in that outer leg. You need a compacting of the hips to give a firm seat for the torso to sit on, to rest on. But not at the cost of gripping the inner thighs right now. After each adjustment, see if you can practice the art of observation, noticing the effects of your actions. Now maintaining what you created on the legs, lengthen from your hips to your armpits. Draw your front bottom ribs towards the back body. Allow the shoulders to descend down and away from the sides of your neck. Lengthen from the inner armpits to the inner elbows. And keeping your elbows where they are, bring your palms together with your thumbs at your chest. Touch your palms evenly, left to right, right to left. Broaden across the chest, the collarbone area, broaden also across the top of the back. The whole torso becomes wider. It's not just a lifting and expansion of the chest. It's inclusive of that. We don't ignore that, but we also don't ignore the back body. Release, relax all of your facial features. Rest your eyes into your cheekbones. And become a witness for the breath. Notice how the breath breathes you when you're in this pose. And let's chant the syllable Om 3 times together. Exhaling completely. Deep inhalation. Lifting your sternum towards the ceiling, lower your chin towards your heart. Release your hands onto your thighs with your palms up. With your eyes closed, raise your head. Gently let your eyelids open. Extend your arms forward, extend the arms up. Notice how the front ribs go forward when you do this. Draw the front bottom ribs towards the back body. Now balance evenly on the sit bones and then press down through the sit bones. And as you press down through the sit bones, from the side ribs, lengthen up through the armpits, through the arms. We have to open up this armpit shoulder area where fatigue, emotions get stuck, clogged. Turn your hands out to the sides. Exhale, come down. Interlace your fingers together. Turn your palms out. Push the webbing of your fingers together. Inhale, come up. Again, push down through the sit bones. Keep the front bottom ribs towards the back body. And then extend from the side ribs, pushing up from the side ribs, through the armpits, through the wrists. Seek an evenness on the two sides. Notice which side has more intelligence. And can you spread that intelligence to both sides? Release your hands up to the sides, come down. And place your fingers the opposite way. Turn your palms out. Push the webbing of your fingers together. The thumbs just gently touching. Straighten the elbows. Extend through the wrists. Inhale, come up. Watch those ribs. Draw the ribs in now as you're going up. Don't wait till you're done. Draw them in as you're going up. Press through the sit bones. Extend through the wrists. Release your arms out to the sides. Come down. And I never really teach enough twists. So while we're here, extend your arms forward, arms up. That length again. Turn your hands out to the side from halfway down. Drop the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, turn to the right. I'm not so worried about your head. If you want to keep your head in line with your sternum, that's fine. But don't lead with the head. Push down through the sit bones. Inhale, lift up through the side ribs. Exhale, turn. You can bend your elbows out to the sides. Keep the shoulders down. Don't allow it. I'm not even turning my head. I'm just turning the torso. So I recommend that one for today. But if you want to feel the head turn, don't let it go past your sternum. Inhale, keep the lift. Exhale, come to center. Arms forward, arms up. Hands out to the side, down. Drop the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, turn into the left. So right hand on the outside of your left knee, thigh. Backhand, left hand goes behind you on your lift. Or if you need a block, you can always put a block there. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Remember, don't lead with the head. Allow the head to follow. You can begin to lead with the torso, lead with the body. On each inhalation, you lift. Each exhalation, you turn. Inhale, maintain the lift. Exhale, come to center. Since the legs were crossed, we do the whole thing on the other side. Cross the legs the opposite way. Feel the flesh away from your sit bones. Yes, we have to start at the beginning. Bounce evenly on those sit bones. Lengthen the inner groins, the inner thigh through the inner knee, the inner thigh back towards the abdomen. Descend the flesh of the inner thighs. Draw from the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. Enough so that you feel that support, but not so much that you grip the inner thighs. You lose that opening. Front bottom ribs towards the back body, lengthening through the side ribs. Extend your arms forward. Watch those ribs. Ribs into the body, arms up. Push down through the sit bones evenly. From your side ribs, push up through the armpits, open the armpits, more lengthen the armpits, extend the arms up. Soft face, soft jaw. Turn your arms out to the sides, come down. Interlace your fingers together, thumbs touching, turn your palms out. Push through the ribs, push the web in, push through the wrists. Push through the wrists, draw the ribs in, push the web into the fingers together, inhale, come up. Ribs into the body, push down through your sit bones, from your side ribs, extend up through your armpits and wrists. Release your arms out to the sides. Interlace your fingers together the opposite way. Turn your palms out. Push the web of your fingers together. Inhale, come up. Push down through your sit bones. Side ribs, lifting, extending through the armpits. Open the armpits, longer armpits. Extend up through the wrists. But keep pushing down through the sit bones as you extend through the wrists. Notice what effect that has. Release your arms out to the sides, come down. Take a breath, check in with yourself. What's moving, what's changing? Arms forward, arms up. Inhale, exhale, turn to the right. Left hand on the outside of your knee, thigh. Right hand behind you. Drop the shoulders. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. The pace of your breath, not mine. There's a broadening across the top of the chest as you turn. And there's also a broadening across the top of the back as you turn. Don't lead with the head. Lead with the body. All of life, we're leading with our head. We're leading with our ego. Can you resist that and have your body take over? Inhale, lift. Keep the lift. Exhale, come to center. Arms forward, arms up. On the exhalation, hands up to the side, arms halfway down. Inhale, exhale, turn. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Push down through those sit bones. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn. Not with leading with the head, lead with the body. Can you learn to use the body, not just the head? Can you learn to gain that intelligence from the body, not just the intelligence from the brain? There's great intelligence in the body if we learn to access it. Inhale, maintain the lift. Exhale, come to center. So we need to do a lot of that. But, the mind, and we're supposed to get our directions from the body, as I just said, but, the mind doesn't always want to be in the same pose. Let's switch poses, switch positions. We'll go into Virasana. I want you to have a lift, though. So you can take a block. If you're very flexible, you can use a blanket. And hopefully you can see this. It'll be feet together. I'm sorry, knees together, feet apart. Take your thumb, push it into the back of your knee. And then as you sit down, you take your thumbs out to the side. So you're creating that space. Then you take your thumbs out. So I'll show that again, a little close to the wall here. You take your thumb on the inside of the knee, push that forward as you come down, and then you take your knees out to the sides. And if that's not clear, because I'm not making it clear in the video, someone unmute yourselves and let me know. Now listen, if this hurts your knees, what are the options? Well, a higher block is one option, right? With a higher block. A block and a blanket, right? So you're just higher up, that's fine. You can also, hopefully you can see this, let me know if you can't, take a blanket or towel and move that deep behind your knees. So instead of using your thumbs, you're using the blanket, and instead of removing the blanket, you're keeping it there. So you can still have a block there, but that blanket also will put space behind your knees. So that can be very beneficial. If none of those works, sit in a chair. So now is the time to let me know if you're having problems and can't get into a comfortable position. This must not hurt your knees. So if this is bothering anyone's knees, please let me know now. All right. And you should just do this pose for 5-10 minutes a day anyway. You can do it watching TV, reading a book. Descend the flesh of the inner thighs down as you lengthen the groin. So from the top of the thighs out through the knee, from the top of the thighs back towards the abdomen. And the flesh goes down. There's still a drawing from the outer knee to the outer hip. Everything's the same. Extend your arms forward, arms up. Push down through the sit bones evenly. Are you balanced evenly on the sit bones? I should have said that before. Balance evenly and then push down evenly. Draw the front bottom ribs towards the back body and the side ribs extend up. We're going to go right into the twist. Inhale, exhale, turn to the right. So left hand on the outside of your right thigh, right hand behind you. Hopefully left and right makes sense here. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. If your hand isn't reaching something, yes, you can always take another block or blanket behind you. Or you can just reach it back around you so it's on the other side of your torso. So now you can see my hand here. My right hand has come around is on the other side. You can do that as well. But not all of you will have the flexibility to do that. So behind you is fine. Turn with the body, not the head. Some of you are turning the head too much. Use the body. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Remember, from the other day, we're not looking for maximum, we're looking for optimal. What's optimal for you today? And if you start grimacing, you're working too hard. Soften. Inhale, exhale, come to center. Are you still okay in the knees? If not, come out and adjust, please. Take an extra blanket, take some extra height. Arms forward, arms up. Push down, reach up. Pushing down with the sit bones, to be clear. Reach up with the side ribs, open the armpits. Inhale, exhale, arms out to the side. Inhale, exhale, go right into the twist. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Watch the front ribs pushing out. They tend to do that. Helps to take the top of the buttocks down slightly to make space for the ribs. To be clear, that is not a pelvic tilt. Don't do a pelvic tilt. Just gently moving the top of the buttocks down to make space for the front ribs to go back. Turning with the body, not the head. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Keep the lift. Inhale, exhale, come to center. Do a little check-in with yourself. How are things going? And not just good or bad, but how are things going? What's churning inside? What's moving around? What's stuck? Where's the intelligence going? Where are there still barriers? Just to notice, observe. Interlace your fingers together. Turn your palms out. Watch those ribs back. Push the webbing of the fingers together. Inhale, come up. Push the sit bones down evenly. From the side ribs, extend up, straight arms, extend through the wrists. Now with our arms up, we're going to turn to the right. Inhale, push with the sit bones, extend through the wrists. Inhale, exhale, turn to the right. Keep your chin in line with your sternum. The ribs wrap around. Shoulders moving away from your ears as the wrists move up. Still pushing through the sit bones as you extend through the wrists. Inhale, exhale, come to center. Extend up again. Inhale, exhale, turn to the left. Push down through the sit bones. Extend up through the wrists. Chin in line with your sternum. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, come to center. Release your hands out to the sides. Rest your hands on your thighs. Take a breath. Interlace your fingers together the opposite way. Turn your palms out. Keep the ribs in. Push through the sit bones. Inhale, come up. Don't tuck the chin. Chin parallel to the floor. Push down through the sit bones. Side ribs extending up. Hug the upper arms into your ears. Extend through the wrists. Keeping pushing down through the sit bones. Extend through the wrists. Inhale, exhale, turn to the right, chin in line with your sternum. Optimal. Each exhalation, turn a little bit more, but optimally, not necessarily maximally. I don't know if that's a word, maximally, but I like it. Inhale, extend up, exhale, come to center, readjust, extend through the wrists, inhale, exhale, turn to the left. Wrap the ribs around, ribs into the body, pushing through the sit bones, extend up. Lead with the body, not the head. Notice how the head wants to turn faster. The head wants to go more, to prove that you've done more. Use the body. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, come to center. Release the hands out to the side. Rest your hands. Take a breath. Take your hands in front of you. Turn your toes under. Slowly begin to straighten your legs and walk your hands back. The legs will not straighten right away, so keep them bent. And then slowly, over time, and you can keep your fingertips on the floor or hold your elbows, slowly, over time, begin to open the backs of the knees. The calf, top of the calf moves down towards the heels. The bottom of the hamstring moves up towards the sit bones. And you do this until your legs are straight. So either holding your elbows or fingertips on the floor. So Uttanasana. And then take your hands on your hips, press your thighs back, extend your chest forward, inhale, come up. Move the block out of the way. Take your feet, take them hip distance apart. Let's keep some room today. Then you want to get the legs straight now. If they didn't get them completely straight before, work on opening up the legs. Don't worry about the arms. So just let the arms hang for now. Balance evenly on the feet. 6 points, 3 on each foot. The ball of the big toe, the center heel, and the outer foot bone. The outer foot bone is halfway between the pinky toe and the outer heel. Balance evenly on those 6 points. And then push evenly through those 6 points. Notice where your mind goes to push first, or not even your mind, but you instinctually push first, right? So when I do that, my balls of the toes immediately push down, as if there's no outer foot in existence. So I have to spread the intelligence, use your awareness. So I can't go so far with the ball of the big toe if I'm going to include those other parts of the foot, the center heels, the outer foot bone. Press the thighs back, lengthen from the inner knees up through the inner groins, all the way up to the lower abdomen. Keep the front bottom ribs towards the back body. Lift your outer knees to outer hips, compact the hips together. When your thighs press back, there's a tendency for the top of the buttocks to lift up. Do not do a pelvic tilt, but do draw the top of the buttocks down slightly while you're pressing your thighs back. That also creates more space for the front ribs to get towards the back body. Lift up to the side ribs, now extend your arms. Your arms are working as hard as your legs. Extend your arms out to the sides, drop the shoulders. From the armpits, rotate the arms up. At the very end, turn the wrists so the palms face up. Now your ribs move forward. So draw the ribs back into the body. And from your armpits now, push your arms up. Don't push your head forward as the arms go up. So same work we were doing while we were sitting. But we need to open up those armpits. Ribs in, push through those 6 points of the feet. And then from the side ribs, extend upward. Open the armpits, extend through the arms. Now maintain awareness of your feet. Maintain awareness of those 6 points. Lift up to the arms. Then maintain the awareness of the 6 points. Turn your hands out to the side. Come down. But your legs should still be in Tadasana. Interlace your fingers together. Turn your palms out. See how much we can do this? Push the way into the fingers together. Inhale, come up. Watch those ribs. Ribs into the body. Push through those 6 points of the feet. Push through the 6 points of the feet. Ribs in. From the side is extend up. Open those armpits. Open those armpits. I wish I could reach out and unmute you all right now, but you can say it out loud in your home. Open armpits or what? Say it, scream it. I know we can't hear you. I'll give the answer for those that don't know. Happy armpits. Open armpits or happy armpits. Open them. Release your arms out to the sides. Come down. Interlace your fingers the opposite way. Turn your palms out. Push the webbing of your fingers together. Inhale, come up. Push through the 6 points of the feet. Lengthen the groins. Flesh of the inner thighs moving back from the side ribs. Extending upward. Open those armpits. Open those armpits. Extend through the wrists. Place your arms out to the sides. Down. Tadasana. Take your feet together. If there's anything in your way, just move it out of your way. So we're going to work on some balancings today also. Because there's a lot of unknown, uncertainty, and many of us don't do well with that unknown and uncertainty. So we have to practice being okay with unknown and uncertainty and being unbalanced. A lot of us feel unbalanced in this world today. We don't know which way we're going. So we can use the practice to fully balance ourselves. So if you have the balance, then great. You're going to use this to balance yourselves. And if you don't have the balance, I want you to open yourself up to the possibilities of not having balance, the possibilities of shaking, the possibilities of not knowing where this is going to go. Because that's what every day is like. And if you can use this time in yoga practice to get comfortable with, I can't really do this today. And I know some of you will be able to balance easily, and some of you will not. Whichever part you're at, the practice is embracing that. So that when you wind up out there in the craziness, you will be okay with it. Hands on your hips. Turn your right leg out to the side. You can keep your foot on the floor still. Rest your heel on your ankle, not pushing, just resting there. And to be clear, maybe this is as far as you want to go. Maybe this is your stability. You don't want to go into the chaos, although I recommend going into the chaos, because if you don't go into the chaos of the unknown, of the unbalanced, you never can get balanced. I could not do Virasana, tree pose, when I started yoga. It took me many years to balance because my brain was unbalanced. Press the thigh back, standing leg. Lift the outer knee to the outer hip. There's still the lengthening of the inner groin, but really lift the outer knee to the outer hip, compact the hip. And then you can take your foot up onto your thigh. If you fall at any stage, please celebrate. Celebrate the unknown, celebrate learning, celebrate growth. And take your foot back down to the floor. Get your full balance. But turned out still, sorry. That wasn't clear, I see. Reestablish the standing leg. Thigh back, lift the outer knee to the outer hip, compact the hips together. Well, yes, the hips compact together, but really compact that standing leg. And then lift up to your calf again. And if you'd like to go deeper, you lift your leg up. You can take hold of it with your hand and you bring it up as high as you can. Do not settle for being on your knee. It can go up to the thigh as high as you can, ideally, so it really hits that crease. But if that's not accessible for whatever reason, then you keep it on your calf. Don't stop in the center of your leg, because then your heel is pushing against your knee in a way that your knee is not supposed to move. Press the thigh back, lift from the outer knee to the outer hip. And if you want, you can also be against the wall, right? And when you're against the wall, that's fine. You can kick your hands against the wall or your elbows against the wall if you're closer. But practice leaving the wall. So you can keep your hands against the wall like this and practice just for a second. Let go. It's right there. Let go. It's right there. So that's fine. But at least you can experience the unknown world. Now really compact that hip. Outer knee to outer hip, compact the hip. And if you'd like, you can add the arms, palms at your chest, palms up. Open the armpits. Enjoy life. And I know some of you hate this pose, just like I did. Bring your palms together and release your leg, release your arms. Because we want to be in control. Balancing poses help focus the mind. It is about the body, to be clear, but it's more about the mind than the body. And because our mind wavers so much, our body wavers. So balancing poses are important because they force you to focus the mind. And when your mind becomes stable, your body can become stable. And yes, if you want to use that wall for stability, that is fine, but you also want to seek that stability in the mind. Hands on hips. Turn your left leg out to the side, but the foot is on the floor, still heel is raised, resting on, not pushing your ankle, resting at your ankle. Now get your standing leg, so find some stability. Thigh back, lengthen the inner groin, draw the outer knee to the outer hip. So you're not shoving the hip out like this, but as you draw the outer knee to the outer hip, you're drawing the hip towards the midline of the body. Now it helps to focus the mind, which we just spoke about, that focusing the mind focuses the body. To focus the mind, it helps to pick a point in the distance to stare at. Right? In a way, that's a meditation, right? So now we're fully focused on that one point. So focus on that one point. First, foot just on the calf. I don't care if you can take it up higher, just do the calf for now. Because you still get to work the standing leg, outer knee to outer hip, and most of us don't work that enough. So check in here. And then take your foot down for a moment. Reestablish that standing leg. Is the thigh pressing back? Are you lengthening the groin? Are you drawing the outer knee to the outer hip? Compact that hip together. Back up to the calf. And then if you'd like, take hold of that leg, take it way up high. But not on your knee. If it's not going up, it's not going up, right? Some of us have difficulty in the knees, other places, that's okay. Lift standing leg, outer knee to outer hip, compact the hip together. I didn't say that well. Compact this hip, but ultimately, yes. So now you can draw both outer knees to outer hips and really compact those hips together. And that creates an opening in the groins. And if you'd like, yes, you can add the arms, palms together at your chest, and then arms up. But don't lose that standing leg for the sake of the arms. Keep staring at that point. I know I'm going slowly. I know we've been here a little while. Stare. Focus the mind so that your body can become stable. And if you fall, do a little celebration. Bring your palms together and release. So Mateo has a new bike. I don't know, a few weeks. And of course, he's brand new. No training wheels, a pedal. He used to have a balance bike. Now he has a pedal bike, no training wheels. He's doing great on it, but he falls. And I started teaching him the first day. As soon as he falls, he gets up. Before he checks out his scratches, he gets up and he goes, woohoo! So he celebrates the falling. There's a celebration in that. I want you to do that too. If you don't have the full balance, I want you to celebrate yourself. Hands on hips. Turn the right leg out. Left thigh back. No, I'm sorry. Turn right leg out. Left thigh back, outer knee to outer hip. Really get stability in this hip. Push through the foot, especially those 3 points of the foot. Ball of the big toe, center heel, outer foot bone. And in this pose, it's really a little bit more, I should say, through the inner foot. So from this outer hip, you press through the inner foot, and that creates some stability. So from the outer hip, press through the inner foot. Lift your foot up to your calf. From the outer hip, press into the inner foot. Use the wall if you need, that's fine, but experiment with giving up control. Experiment with instability. Celebrate instability. If you'd like, take the leg all the way up. Or you can keep the leg down. And notice how when that leg goes up, this hip begins to move out. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but notice how the hip moves out. So can you draw the outer knee to the outer hip and move the left hip towards the right hip? And then, yes, draw the right hip towards the left hip. Have your gazing point. Work this, work this. If you'd like to add the arms, sure, palms together, arms up. And bring your palms at your chest and release. Check in with yourself. Hands on your hips. Turn your left leg out. Right thigh back, outer knee to outer hip. Really get that firm stability. Bring your leg up, your foot up to your calf. Re-engage that stability. And then if you'd like, take your foot all the way up. Press your thigh into your heel. The heel automatically goes into the thigh. Press the thigh into the heel. Draw the standing leg, outer knee to outer hip. Draw that hip in, thigh moves into the heel, then draw both outer knees to outer hips. Press through those points of the foot. Press from the outer hip to the inner foot. Outer hip to the inner foot. See, I need to balance too sometimes. Luckily that wall's near me, that's fine. Palms together if you'd like, extend the arms up. Or just work with the legs. And for those who are balancing, notice the mind. Notice how focused the mind needs to be. Notice how quiet that mind has to become in order to truly balance. And maybe just get a flash of it. Celebrate that flash. Palms together. Hands down. Leg down. Check in with yourself. All right, we'll go back to some stability. Tita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Fingertips up, bend your legs, jumper step your feet wide. Drop your shoulders. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. Lengthen from your inner knees all the way up to your abdomen. Left foot in, right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Take that back thigh back, press into the back heel. Turn the front thigh out. Lift both outer knees to outer hips. Inhale, exhale, right hand down. Left arm up. Keep pressing that back heel. Reach to the arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Other side, right foot and left leg up. Front heel in line with your back arch. Press the outer rim of the back heel. The back thigh goes back, press the back heel. Turn that front thigh out. Lift both outer knees to outer hips. Keep pressing the back heel. Inhale, exhale, come down. Press that back heel. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. And reach up, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet and jump or step your feet together. So with the handful of people that do have the video showing, you can watch for a second. There's a tendency, and it does get shorter, but there's a lot of this. See how this is much shorter? So the lower side, the right side here, shorter than the left side. I want you to lengthen this side, not by throwing that hip back, but lift the outer knees to the outer hips. And when you come down, I'll have you take your hand on your thigh. You'll come down. I want you to keep as much length as you can. And I want you to you'll take your top hand on these ribs. So instead of being here, where these ribs come up and there's an arch here, you're going to use your hand to push your ribs down so you can lengthen from your hip to your armpits. Okay? Let's try that. Just separate your feet. My mat is slipping. Let me fix that. Separate your feet wide. Start with your hands on your hips. Turn your left foot in, turn your right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Now you have to get the legs first. So take that back thigh back, press into the heel. Turn the front thigh out, lift both outer knees to outer hips. And take your hand on your thigh. I want you to lengthen on the right side from your hip to your armpit. And keep that length. Compact the hip so that you're not throwing that hip back. And slide your hand down your shin. And at some point, you're going to go, I can't really go anymore without, creating that arch. Well, stop there. And now see if you can get more length. Take your top hand, put it on the side ribs, and push those ribs down and get more length from your hip to your armpit on the front side, lower side. And then maybe you slide down a little bit more because you created that extra space. Keep pressing the back heel, outer knees to outer hips. Now, when you feel you have what you're going to get today, optimal for today, extend the arm up. Extend those arms away from each other. Pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet, take your hands on your hips. If anything's not making sense, you let me know. Right foot and left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Take the back thigh back, press the back heel. Turn the front thigh out, lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Hand on your thigh. Really lift those outer knees to outer hips so that they don't move in space. You want to keep those hips where they are. Slide that lower hand down, so the left hand down. And then at some point, you feel the lower side beginning to arch. So take your right hand now on your right ribs. Push that down. It even helps turn the torso slightly. Push that down and lengthen on the left side from the hip to the armpit. Get more length there, more length there, more length there. And then maybe you're able to slide down a little bit more, maintaining that length. And when you're where you want to be, optimal, extend the arm up. Extend the arms away from each other. And observe the stability in the pose. Or perhaps lack of. That's fine. And then celebrate that. Celebrate learning and growth. And then pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. And jump or step your feet together. Virasana. Virasana. Check in with yourself. All right, well, we've worked a lot of the shoulders, turning the torso. Let's get to the hips too. So have a seat. Um, take a couple of blankets or towels. And have a strap. And let's start in Dandasana, leg straight. Peel the flesh away from the sit bones still. Balance evenly on those sit bones. Lengthen from the inner thighs through the inner knee, through the inner heels. Descend the flesh of the inner thighs and draw from the outer knees to the outer hips. Compact those hips together. And let the right leg fall out. Hold the inside of the knee and move the leg out to the side. And then let the left leg fall out. Hold the inside of the knee and move the leg out to the side. And then take your feet together. And take your strap. We did this the other day. Take your strap, slide it under the feet. So you're not here with bent arms. I want you to keep the arms straight and reach down towards the floor. Press the heels into each other. The balls of the toes also press each other. Rotate the upper arms out to create space for the side ribs, but of course, watch the ribs pushing forward. And notice if you're balanced evenly on your sit bones and adjust. Lengthen from your inner groins to your inner knees. Lengthen from the top of the thighs back towards the abdomen, so the whole inner groin lengthening, inner knee to lower abdomen on both legs. Move your knees away from each other. Draw the outer knees to the outer hips. Now, even here, we can add the shoulders. Release your strap for a moment. For some of you, it's going to be more balancing now. Extend your arms forward, arms up. Yeah, we can do that here too. So many ways to do it. This version is a lot harder for me. Turn your hands out to the sides, come down. Interlace your fingers together. Press your heels. Move your knees away from each other. Compact those hips. Extend the wrists. Arms forward, arms up. Watch those ribs. Now seek not to grip the groins. Push down through the sit bones. Stand up. Release your arms out to the sides. Come down. Other side. Interlock your fingers the opposite way. Push your arms out. Push to the sit bones. Ribs in. Inhale. Come up. Press the heels. Press the ball of the toes. Ball of the big toes, I should say. And release the arms up to the sides. Come down. Now, take hold of the strap again with both hands. Lift up. Get that length. Then take both sides of the strap with your left hand. Take your right hand behind you. Inhale, lift up, exhale, turn. You can bend this elbow. Bend the elbow out to the side. Keep the shoulders down. You can bend both elbows. Look forward. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turn. Inhale, lifting, exhale, come to center. Come to center with both sides. Hold both sides of the strap. Press the heels, press the balls of the big toes. And take the strap in the right hand, left hand behind you. Inhale, lift, exhale, bend the elbow, turn. Remember, broaden across the chest as you do this, but also the top of the back. And wrap the ribs around. Inhale, exhale, come to center, hold both sides of the strap. Another pose, you want to do this 5-10 minutes every day. And you can include the twists or not. And you can do it when you're watching TV or reading a book. All right. Move that strap out of the way. Take hold of the outside of your knees. Push your legs together. Hold behind one knee. There are two strands there. Take one in each hand. Draw the flesh towards the buttocks as you straighten your leg. Other leg. Draw the flesh towards the buttocks as you straighten your leg. And then hands on your hips. By your hips, excuse me. Hands next to your hips. Dandasana. Now separate your legs. Separate your legs. Knees up, toes up. Hands are by your hips. Lengthen from the inner thigh out through the inner knee, through the inner heel, push through the ball of the big toe. Descend the flesh to the inner thighs, draw the outer knees to the outer hips, compact those hips together. The thigh bone does press down. Find an opening. Now take your fingertips in front of you and slowly, first draw the outer knees to the outer hips. You have to have that. And it really helps to draw from the top of the thighs back towards the abdomen. Still extend through the heel, but get that drawing back towards the body and begin to crawl your hands forward towards a forward bend. Now, some of you will be able to go further than others. When your back begins to round, that's as far as you go today. And some of you have more flexibility in the hamstrings and in the groins, and you'll be able to go further. That's fine. Optimal for you. And then walk your hands back, come up. Take hold of the inside of your knees. Lift up. Hold behind one knee. Draw the flesh towards the buttocks. Straighten the leg. Other leg. Draw the flesh towards the buttocks. Straighten the leg. Hands by your hips. Now we're going to do this pose again. But for some of us, a lower lift is easier. Okay, so I'm going to show you another lift that I want you to try. Then in your practice, you can do what works for you. I'm turning the blanket. I'm hoping you can see this. If you can't, somebody let me know. I'm turning the blanket so the corner is facing forward, right? Can you see that? And then I have just one blanket now. And then I'm sitting, the corner you want to be straight. Don't have the corner so it's off to the side. The corner, so the tip of that corner really faces straight ahead. And then you want to sit so that legs apart and you're just seeing the edge of the corner through your legs. So you're not seeing a big corner. It's not here and you see this whole blanket. That's not it. Just the edge of the corner. You can see it if you look really hard between your legs. Yeah? Somebody let me know if it's not making sense. All right, I got a couple thumbs up, so I'm going to assume people understand. Press the thighs down, lengthen from the inner thigh out through the inner knee, through the inner heel, push through the balls of the toes, but really draw back from the upper inner thighs towards the lower abdomen. From the outer knees, draw back to the outer hips, compact those hips together without gripping the inner thighs. And yes, descend the flesh of the inner thighs down. Use your hands behind you. It can be fingertips, right? So I have my fingertips just to lift up through the side ribs without pushing the ribs forward. And then again, take your fingertips in front of you and begin that journey forward. But don't try and get your head to the floor. Try and get your chest across the room. You can be slow. And then at some point, come back. Do it a few times. Come back. And then go forward again. And maybe this time you go a little forward. Why is somebody knocking at the door here? That's odd. And then drawing back. And then coming forward. And maybe some of you might even be able to get your forearms down. Don't force it. And then walk back. Hands by your hips. And another way to do this, one of my wonderful teachers taught this, arms forward, arms up. And you begin to float down like a bird. Turn your hands out to the side and begin to float down just a little bit. The arms come down and then the arms come back up, your torso comes up. And then maybe a little further and come down like you're flying. And then up. And down. And back up. Again, chest across the room. And then down. And then maybe your hands come to your legs. Maybe to your big toes. Anywhere. Shins, thighs. It doesn't matter where. And then float yourself back up. And take your hands by your hips. So different ways to get in here, but you do want to. I hated this pose for so many years because I couldn't do it, but it has become such a boon. It took me some dedicated practice to get comfortable in this pose. And I highly recommend you going through the discomfort of it if you have discomfort, and take a few months and find some ease. Take your hands underneath your knees. Pull to come up. Take your hands behind one leg. Draw the flesh towards the buttocks. Drag your heel. Straighten your leg. Other leg. Draw the flesh towards the buttocks. Drag the heel. Straighten the leg. Dandasana. You have the blanket there. So maybe your hands reach the floor if you have longer arms, or maybe you do the fingertips. And release. All right. Lie back. I'm going to pull this away from the wall a little bit, see how that works. Lie back. Take a blanket underneath your head. Have nearby what you're going to want for Shavasana. So if you're going to want your chair, have it nearby. If you want to have a blanket roll or a bolster underneath your knees, have it nearby. And bend your legs into your chest. Draw your thighs towards your torso. And then take your hands around your right leg only. Draw your thigh towards your torso. Take your foot to the floor first, then drag your heel, straighten your leg. Keep the thigh turned in. Lengthen both groins. Keep that right thigh drawing towards the torso. Take your right outer hip away from your shoulder, so the sides of your torso are equal. As you draw the right thigh down, extend through the inner left leg. Inhale, draw your left leg next to your right. Hold both legs together. And hold over the left leg only. Right foot to the floor. Draw the left thigh towards the torso. Drag the right heel, straighten the leg. Keep the thigh turned in. Lengthen the groins. Take the outer left hip away from your left shoulder. And as you draw the left thigh down, extend through your inner right leg. Inhalation, take your right leg to your left leg, hold both legs together, give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug like you mean it. Show yourself some kindness, some compassion. On your inhalation, take both legs to the floor. Take the flesh of the top of the buttocks, move that towards your heels, and straighten your legs one at a time. Let your legs go. Take your arms out to the side at about a 30-degree angle. Find a comfortable place for your arms and let go. Be here in Shavasana. Of course, if you need something underneath your knees, please take that. If a chair underneath your calves will be more comfortable, take that. It's your Shavasana. And let go here. Let go. Find a surrendering to the Mother Earth below you. Can you allow yourself to give up control and allow yourself to be fully supported? Can you become a witness for the breath? You do not need to breathe, the breath will breathe you. Can you become a witness? Not seeking to control, not seeking an outcome, not seeking that if I do this well, I will experience. Instead, simply becoming a witness to the breath and to the experience of the breath. If any changes occur, be a witness to those changes instead of trying to create the changes. You spend all day trying to control this, control that. Take this time to practice the art of witnessing. Shavasana. begin slowly coming out. Deepen the inhalation, softly, smoothly, and lengthen the exhalation. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your nose. If your legs are up on the chair, you can leave them there. Otherwise, bend your legs, take your feet on the floor with your knees together, feet apart. Take your hands onto your abdomen or onto your chest. Let the healing energy of your hands penetrate your body, pierce through your layers, and heal whatever it is you may need healing with today. When you feel ready, extend your right arm past your right ear. If the left side's easier, then go to the left side. That's fine. Roll to the right or left if that's easier for you. Be on your side for a moment. When you feel ready, take your top hand, place it on the floor in front of your heart. Turn your torso towards the floor and push to come up. Come up chest first, head last. Come up to sitting. Bring your palms together, thumbs at your chest. Draw your eyes back and down as you turn the corners of your lips up. Stay in this place of the witness, observing your experience, your practice. And as you go through your doings throughout the day, can you keep a piece of this witness with you so that you can at least observe the effects of your doings? And while you're doing your doings, lead with compassion, lead with kindness. And let's close our practice by chanting one collective Om. Deep inhalation. Gently let your eyes open. Big smile. Namaste. Bow to the divine within you.